Hi, fourth grade. We are going to be spending Monday and Tuesday of this week doing some review work with topic 13. We've hit all of the lessons, but because there's so much involved in this topic, it's important that we take some time to review. So what you're seeing right now is where our review work is going to begin. It's page 722 in your math book. First thing that I want to point out on this page is this word list. This word list is really, really long. These are all of the measurement terms that you were learning and applying in this topic. So before you do anything else today, I hope you take a look at this list and feel a sense of pride for not only learning all of these words, but applying and using all of these words in the math work that you've been doing. So this word list alone shows just how intense topic 13 can be. So your first task of your review work is going to be to complete numbers 1 through 7 on page 722. In this video, I'm not going to spend time on this because I want to get to practicing some measurement conversions, but you're first expected to complete page 722. When you finish that page, turn to page 723, and this is where you're going to be practicing your conversion work. We're going to be asking you to complete all of set A, all of set B, and all of set C. You will not have to do anything in set D. Okay, so let's look at some of these together. So you should right now be in your math book on page 723 so you can follow along. One of the great things that your math book has done for you is putting the conversions charts right here on the side, so that way you have them, because you're going to notice everything in set A is dealing with customary units. So some of the questions could be length, some of the questions could be capacity, some of the questions could be weight. They're going to be all mixed up. So you're going to have to pay extra attention to what you're working with. So we're going to work on just a few of these together. So question number 1. We're being asked to convert 9 yards to inches. So use the conversions chart. Come over, find yards. So we know 1 yard is 36 inches. So let's think about 9 yards. So let's think about this. 9 yards, we know there's 36 inches in each yard. So if we use a multiplication equation, we can find the answer. Grab your calculator or solve it on some scrap paper. If you need to pause the video and solve it, go ahead. Just hit play when you're ready. So in your calculator, you can type in 36 times 9, and you wind up with the answer of 324 inches. Okay, so let's try another one. Number 2, we're converting miles to yards. So I come over to the conversions chart. I see miles, I see yards. 1 mile has 1,760 yards. So 5 miles, 1,760 yards in each one. I can now make an equation. And again, pause the video and solve it on scrap paper or use your calculator. Whichever way you choose to solve it, if you solve it correctly, you should wind up with the answer of 8,800. So something I want you to notice, build equations, okay? So you're going to finish the rest of set A using the conversions charts to help you. Set B is very similar, only instead you're working with metric units. So let's just practice 1 or 2 of these together. So number 1, 9 kilometers turn into meters. So here I see 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters. Some of you might already have the answer popping into your head mentally, but it's always good to make an equation. So I know I'm dealing with 9 kilometers, and I know there's 1,000 meters in each kilometer. So it's a good idea to build your equation. If you need your calculator, go ahead, and you should discover the answer is 9,000 meters. Okay? Number 2, going from centimeters to millimeters. So find it over here. 1 centimeter has 10 millimeters. So 55 centimeters, 10 millimeters in each one. So I build my equation, and then I multiply, and I can actually zeros trick this. 55 times 1 is 55. Stick the 0 on the end, and I get 550. Okay, so you're going to continue the rest of set B dealing with metric. when you get to set C is all about perimeter and area. Okay, so you're going to need to remember the perimeter and area formulas. If you don't remember them, might be a good idea to jot these down on a sticky note. So perimeter is length plus width plus width. Area is length times width. So just like we've done in our math book, you're going to try and solve numbers 1, 2, and 3. Let's work together, though, on number 1, okay? So number 1 says find n. We know the perimeter is 108 inches. We know this one side here is 18 inches. So if you remember from our work on this in the math book, we started with the formula. So we're given perimeter. So let's start with the perimeter formula. Perimeter equals length plus width plus width. Then we fill in the information that we know. So we know the perimeter is 108. We also know the length. So we know this side is 18, and we know this side is 18. But what we don't know is the length of the top and the bottom, or the width. The math book calls those n. So now we're going to use the inverse operation. So we know we have 108 inches altogether. So if we take 108 and we take away 18 from the one side and 18 from the other side, so let's go ahead and solve that. And of course, you can use a calculator. 8 minus 8 is 0. 10 minus 1 is 9. Then 90, take away another 18. I get 72. Okay, so that means between this top part and this bottom part, I'm going to have 72. Well, that 72 has to get split into two sides. So here's what you do with that. You take 72 and you now divide it by 2. That will break it apart into the two sides. And of course, this is where you're going to want a calculator. And if you take 72, you divide by 2, you get 36. So what that means is this top side is 36, this bottom side is 36, so n equals 36 inches. So go ahead and continue on with your work on these review pages. Remember to reach out to your math teacher if you need help.